Get my 6. Watch the meadow behind me and the tree line behind the meadow. You never know what may or may not be weaving in and out of that wood line. That which supposedly may or may not exist. Potentially it does, potentially it doesn't. But I think they're going to be curious here really, really soon. Guys, I've got a sizable landscaping project going on here today. So sizable that I've actually called up the pros. You know, I've planted over 2,000 trees on my property in the last 4 years, building privacy hedges all the way around. Started with the road. And again, it's not anything against anybody out this way. I'm sure they're wonderful people. I don't want to know. I just don't want to see them. I don't want to hear them. I want to have my own privacy. That's why I live out in the country. So what we're doing now that the temperature's gotten cooler, fall is here, winter's coming, is I walk past the log yard here and I walk past one of our garden spots. We're going ahead, and fortunately we're in the position now to where we can call in some professionals, because I planted some like a ton of Leland cypresses around the road when we first got here 4 years ago. They were 18 inches tall, and now they're already like 12 to 15 feet tall. They've been doing miraculously. Okay, but now here's one of the spots, and we actually own some property a little bit past this point, but it's a spot where we don't quite have the privacy we would prefer to have. You know, like when we're out in the garden, when we're splitting firewood, when we're doing anything, we don't want to feel as if we're, you know, putting on a show for anybody. And more than likely we're not, but sometimes you get that feeling. And so here below our garden, I've got some guys coming out today, and they're bringing me 5 brand new, actually they're not brand new, they're probably 8 years old from a nursery, but they're 15 feet tall, 12 to 15 feet tall, Leland cypress trees. They're going to be going in. I've marked them off. I've staked them here. It's going to build a beautiful privacy hedge for our garden and firewood area, and I'm sure it's also going to give him, her, it, or they, you know, more places to hide, but that just gives us more places to, you know, look for them. So I'm going to see if I can get some footage of these guys putting in these big trees, just because I think stuff like that's neat. I do like to do, you know, the overwhelming majority of my work on my homestead by myself, and I like to do it the hard way. But this is just, I kind of want the trees to be uniform. And so the trees I planted 4 years ago already have that 4-year head start. And so I went ahead and put out some cashola to get some sizable trees. And plus too, it's just going to beautify that part of our property. Look, you know, to each his own, and everybody has the right not to maintain the appearance and the upkeep of their property, but I have the right not to have to see it. So if I can block an eyesore by, you know, spending a bit of jing that I've worked hard to earn to get sizable hedge trees like that, I'll do it. And so that's what we're doing. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope maybe it gives you some good ideas for some landscaping projects around your place. And yes, I am kind of buying time right now, because you never know what you may or may not see up here. Wow. Like that. Ducking in and out of behind a tree. You know, I'm tell you what, when these guys are down here running, they're putting these in with some heavy machinery because the trees are so big. We might actually be up here. I'm going to hide. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide, and I'm going to see if I can get some footage of him, her, it, or they sneaking into the yard to watch the landscaping work while trying to get some landscaping footage. I hear footsteps. You hear some work going on way back behind us here. So anyway, I don't know. At this point, I'm not quite sure what this video is going to be about. Trees, Bigfoot Sasquatch, oh my. Enjoy. That's the machine that will do the digging. So we got a whole dump truck full of 15 feet tall Leland cypresses, and they need to be dug with an auger. That is so much more efficient and faster than me and my shovels. Here goes hole number 2. Number 4 and 5, getting a really good close up here. And now they're bringing the trees. Big 12 to 15 feet tall Leland cypresses. Instant privacy hedge. Again, we started with 18 inches around the other parts of the property 4 years ago, and now they're 12 to 15 feet tall. So this way it'll be uniform and we're not playing catch up and it won't look all uneven. Here's a close up. I'll show you how deep these holes are. These are 10 feet Leland cypresses. We got 5 of them. Look how deep this hole is. You saw how quickly he dug them. About 45 seconds. Yeah, I don't think I could have done that with my shovel. These say 10 feet, but they're actually a little bit taller because they've been sitting in the nursery for a while. They didn't sell during the regular season. And by the way, that's not what I'm paying. I'm getting a deal. I bought out a season and I bought in bulk, so they're working with me on this. But what a nice hole. Yep, I definitely couldn't have done that as quick with my shovel. All right, guys, so I'm going to give a shout out to the gentlemen, the gentlemen here doing this job, doing the work. The owner of the company is here. His name's William. He's a great guy. The name of his company, for those of you who are local who watch this, it's Ivy Corner Garden Center. Okay, it's on Old Ivy Road, 250, between Charlottesville and Waynesboro. They're not part of the Ivy Nursery, which is also out that way close to Burnley State. Is it Burnley Station Road? No, that's up 29 North. It's the other one. They're a smaller business, and not to downplay any of the other local nurseries, but I shopped around because this is a multiple $1,000 project I have going on here because of the cost of the trees, the delivery, the installation. And when I'm going to spend that much money on something, I shop around. I went to almost every nursery in Albemarle County, and I really hit it off with this guy, William. Prices, they're pretty much the same at all the nurseries, just to be honest with you. The trees were the same price, the delivery fees were the same, but William and I clicked personality-wise, and that means a lot to me. So we hired him, and we had to wait a little bit because he did have to find the trees, but it didn't take him long, and he got out there and he beat the bushes and he found the trees. And the minute he got them, I think the day after he got them, he brought them out and he delivered them here. So while these guys are getting the trees in the ground, let's go back up there and do what I alluded to earlier. Okay, guys, the men are hard at work down there installing those 5 very large Leland cypress trees. William and his crew. My beautiful bride, Dearly, aka Giggly Girl, is hard at work down there supervising. Just like when I work here on the homestead, she likes to sit there and look pretty while I do it. That's what she's doing down there. So what we're doing is we're slipping up here to the campground, and we're going to see if we can capture any glimpses, images, or sounds of him, her, it, or they coming in to watch the men as they work, as they install this, potentially the final privacy hedge. I have to gauge, guys, this is what's going on. Again, we have nothing against anybody that lives out here. We just want, one of my favorite books, my favorite Charles Dickens book is The Secret Garden. And I always wanted to have a secret garden, and we like to go walk along the campus of the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, and there's some beautiful gardens off to the sides of the rotunda, and they're bricked in with like these 8 feet walls, and we walk through the gardens. We're like, wouldn't this be great? Wouldn't this be great? Well, here's what we did. Take a look at all the land behind me. This is all ours, as far as you can see. Well, up until the road down there, there's a road halfway through that dip. But this is ours, all the way around to our, now you can see one house over there this time of year, and that's it. So when we got the property, and again, get my 6, watch for him, her, it, or they, we went out into the field and we thought, hey, we could build a secret garden here. We could build a secret garden there. And, but I would lay awake at night thinking, you know, that's not the answer. That's not how it works. That's not what I want. And so I told my beautiful bride, dearly, I said, you know what I want? I don't want a 50-foot by 50-foot secret garden where you go and you enter the gate and you sit there inside a bricked-in wall, you know, covered with ivy over time. I said, I want a 6-acre secret garden. Let's put a privacy hedge around the entirety of our property, except for back here in the wooded part, because there's no houses forever back there, and our land joins the guy's land. His house is so far over. I think his ancestors invented satellite TV or something. He probably owns a couple mountains. So it's like there's no need to do it back here. So anyway, there might be 1 or 2 more spots after this, but what's my point of that? Oh, my point is, you know that anytime I do any work up here, him, her, it, or they, not anytime, but a lot of times, they come creeping in on us, potentially, to see what we're doing. So I'm putting myself halfway between the men down there doing the work and then the forest behind me where him, her, it, or they potentially live. And we're going to see if we can capture anything creeping in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the phone to show you how far away we are from the men. Then we're going to go back and I'm going to slip right inside the edge of the forest here, and I'm going to record that as a backdrop and see if we can catch them sneaking up on us. All right, let me zoom in. Way down there are the men planting the privacy hedge. And it's going to go from there all the way to that large cedar which butts up against the head of our pond there. So this entire portion will be privatized, making our garden and our firewood spot down. And wow, they're way down there. So this is going to be one heck of a big secret garden, guys. And again, it's going to take 20 years for these trees to mature in full. But what I did is I looked at it and I said, what do I want this place to be like 20 years from now? Well, and the answer that came was this 6-acre private, secret garden. And to get that in 20 years, when you're dealing with trees, you got to start immediately today. Again, that's another reason we went ahead and bought some big ones. I think we have a peeker. I'm going to zoom. This doesn't appear to be working, but I have reason to believe I know what will. I'm going to set the phone up here at the campground aiming back here to the forest, and then I'm going to walk down to where the men are doing the work and where my beautiful bride Dearly, aka Giggly Girl, is looking pretty while she supervises. Okay, this way, if him, her, it, or they are up here, which I have reason to believe they may or may not be, I won't be impeding their progress. They won't be able to see me, smell me, or hear me up here because I'll be down there, and they will know that. So I'm going to go set the camera up, start recording, and go down the hill. I just got down there. I turned around and thought I saw something up here. Take off sprinting. William's like, "Hey Kevin, where are you going?" We have to review the footage. I don't know if this is working either. Okay guys, the work is done. The men are gone. So I've walked back down the hill here. I'm going to show you the final results, the final product. Oh, these things are beautiful. They mulched them. They came in, they put them in the ground, they mulched them. They put fertilizer in here as well. And again, you saw on the pots they were in, it said 10 feet, but these are 12 feet tall. I mean, look, here's my feet. These are 12 feet tall. And now we've got to water them. William told me to put 5 gallons of water on each one. So I'm going to get a view from this angle. Oh wow, they look beautiful. They're perfectly spaced. They all have 20 feet to really spread out as they grow. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They look absolutely beautiful. Those guys did a great job. Again, it's Ivy Corner Garden Center on Old Route 250 it's outside of Charlottesville, heading as if you were going to Crozet or Waynesboro. William's a great guy. He actually gave me a quote on doing some driveway work. My driveway is long overdue being graded and graveled, so that's on the project list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go back and look at the footage. Please do me a favor. If you believe you saw anything or heard anything, timestamp it and say what it is you believe you heard or saw. But again, this is another huge step. You know, we should have done this 4 years ago with 18-inch Leland cypresses. It would have been less expensive. We could have done it ourselves. But guys, if you've not been following the channel, you don't know this. If you have been, you do know. We've planted over 2,000 trees on this property. And so we've done about all that we could do with the time and resources we've had available. Fortunately, we're in a pretty good position now to where we could, do a multi-$1,000 project like this, so that these trees are the same height of the trees that we did plant 4 years ago when they were 18 inches, and they're now 12 feet tall. So, when you're trying to make a secret garden out of a property that's 6 acres big or larger, you do it the exact same way you would eat an elephant. One bite at a time. See you for more next time from the PBS S, the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch show.